Prime Minister Sushil Koirala ji, my colleagues from South Asia, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to return to Kathmandu. Koirala ji, congratulations on organizing an excellent summit. Thank you, Nepal, for your warm hospitality once again. Greetings to observer countries present here. This is my first SAARC Summit, but this is the second time I'm meeting most of you together. I stepped in the office with the greetings of the entire world. But what moved me, dear colleagues, was your personal presence with the good wishes of 1/4 of the humanity. Because the future I dream for India is the future I wish for our entire region. The last summit was 3 years ago. Only 2 of us here were present in Adu. Even Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has come here after her re-election. President Rajpaksha will soon go into one, and I wish him good luck. I especially welcome our newest colleague, President Ghani. Ours is a region of thriving democracy, of rich inheritance, the unmatched strength of youth, and a strong thrust of change and progress. In the last few months, I have traveled around the world. From the middle of the Pacific to the southern coast of Atlantic Ocean, I see a rising tide of integration. And negotiations on major trade agreements such as Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. Because the barriers of the boundaries inhibit progress, international partnership add speed to it. Because in the life of an individual or a nation, a good neighborhood is a universal aspiration. Where does South Asia wish to stand in this world? We all have to ask this question to ourselves. Nowhere in the world are collective efforts more urgent than in South Asia. And nowhere else is to so modest. Big and small, we face the same challenges. A long climb to the summit of development, but I have great belief in our boundless potential and confidence that comes from the many inspiring stories of innovation and initiative in each of our countries. There is much to learn from each other, even more to do together. That was the vision and aspiration that brought us together as SAARC 30 years ago. We have traveled a long distance together since then. We have an agreement, an institution, or a framework of a cooperation in every field. We also have many successes. 8. When we speak of SAARC, we usually hear two reactions. I'm sorry to say, but we always hear two reactions: cynicism and skepticism. This, sadly, is in a region throbbing with the optimism of our youth. Today, less than 5% of the region's global trade take place between us. Even at this modest level, less than 10% of the region's internal trade take place under SAARC free trade area. Indian companies are investing billions abroad, but less than 1% flow into our region. It is still harder to travel within our region than to Bangkok or Singapore, and more expensive to speak to each other. How much have we done in SAARC to turn our natural wealth into shared prosperity, or our borders into bridgeheads to a shared future? Yet, South Asia is slowly coming together. India and Bangladesh had deepened their links through rail, road, and power. India and Nepal have started a new era of cooperation in energy. And India and Bhutan are making those ties stronger by the day. With Sri Lanka, we have transformed trade through a free trade agreement. We will soon launch a new arrangement to meet Maldives' need for oil. Distance and difficulties have not held back India and Afghanistan, and bus and train sustained contacts between people in India and Pakistan. We have given 5 South Asian partners duty-free access to 99.7% of their goods, and are prepared to do more than. For India, it has been a privilege to provide assistance of nearly $8 billion in South Asia over a decade. It may not seem a great amount in these times, but we are grateful for the opportunity to have made a difference to the lives of a few brothers and sisters in our region. Each of us has taken initiatives. However, as SAARC, we have failed to move with the speed that our people expect and want. Some argue that it is because of the region's development gap, but that should actually spur us to do more. Or is it because we are stuck behind the walls of our differences and hesitant to move out of the shadows of the past? This would not resolve our differences, but will certainly deprive us of opportunities. Today, goods travel from one Punjab to another Punjab through Delhi, Mumbai, Dubai and Karachi, making the journey 11 times longer and the cost 4 times more. India, too, has its share of responsibility because of our size and location. I know that many of your goods too have to do a parikrama of India to reach their destinations. Just think of what we are doing to our consumers and to our environment. We must shrink the distance between our producers and consumers and use the most direct routes of trade. I know India has to lead and we will do our part. I hope each of you will too. Infrastructure is our region's greatest weakness and it is most pressing need. When I thought of coming to Kathmandu by road, it made many officials in India nervous because of the condition of the roads at the border. Infrastructure is my greatest priority in India and also want to set up a special purpose facility in India to finance infrastructure projects in our region that enhance our connectivity and trade. We speak of ease of doing business in India. Let us extend this to our region. I promise to ensure that our facilities at the border will speed up, not slow down trade. Let us all make our procedures simple, our facilities better, our standards common, and our paperwork less burdensome. India will now give business visa for 3 to 5 years for SAARC countries. Let us make it even easier for our businesses through a SAARC business traveler card. Excellencies, India has a huge trade surplus with SAARC countries. I believe that this is neither right nor sustainable. We will address your concerns and give you a level playing field in India. But I encourage you to attract Indian investments to produce for the Indian market and create jobs for your youth. I also look to a future when your companies can easily raise funds in India for investments at home. And when we cross border industrial corridors, so that we can take advantage of the natural synergies and connect our lives in our border states. I also believe that if we can light up each other's towns and villages, we can build a brighter tomorrow for our region, or face a future when someone looks down at us from space and says that this is the world's darkest corner. Let us treat electricity as a commodity like any other that we invest and trade in. India will fully support this initiative in the region. We should also think with ambition to use solar energy, and microgrids to quickly provide clean power to villages across the region. Our relations become stronger. When we connect the lives of the ordinary citizens of our countries, that is why connectivity and services by rail and road are so important. We should also connect ourselves more by air. We will not only make a difference to the lives of our people, but also promote tourism in the region. We should use the strength of shared heritage and our diversity to encourage tourism within our region and present South Asia to the world. We could begin with the Buddhist circuit, but we do not have to stop there. As we seek to build bridges to prosperity, we must not lose sight of our responsibility to the millions living without hope. When we must work with our compassion of our hearts, but also with the power of science and technology. In the area of health, India will meet the shortfall in funds to establish the SAARC Regional Supra-Reference Laboratory for TB and HIV. We offer the 5-in-1 vaccines for the children of South Asia. We will support monitoring and surveillance of polio-free countries and provide vaccines where it might reappear. And for those coming to India for medical treatment, India will provide immediate medical visa and one attendant. Information technology has removed all barriers to quality education. India is prepared to connect our South Asian students through online courses and e-libraries. When we set up India's National Knowledge Network, we will be happy to extend it to the SAARC region. The dream of a South Asian university has become a reality in New Delhi. But to be truly South Asian, it must also have a partnership with at least one university in each SAARC country. Excellencies, India's gift of a satellite for the SAARC region will benefit us all in areas like education, telemedicine, disaster response, resource management, weather forecasting, and communication. You will also host a conference in India for all South Asian partners next year to strengthen our collective ability to apply space technology in economic development and governance. And we plan to launch our satellite by the SAARC Day in 2016. As neighbors, we should also be together in good and bad times. India's capability and expertise in disaster management will always be available to South Asia. Equally, as we reach out to our Indians caught in conflicts and disasters around the world, we will also be there for all our South Asian citizens. A prosperous SAARC needs the strong foundation of secure South Asia. If we are sensitive to each other's security and the lives of our people, we will deepen friendship, spur cooperation, and advance stability in our region. Today, as we remember the horror of the terror attack in Mumbai in 2008, we feel the endless pain of loss of lives. Let us work together to fulfill the pledge we have taken to combat terrorism and transnational crimes. For India, our vision for the region rests on 5 pillars: trade, investment, assistance, cooperation, every area, contacts between our people, and all through seamless connectivity. This is the call of our times. This is the age of social media where boundaries matter little. There is a new awakening in South Asia, a new recognition of interlinked destinies, and a new belief in a shared opportunities. The bonds will flow through SAARC or outside it, among us, all or some of us. We can all choose our paths to our destinations. But when we join our hands and walk in steps, the path becomes easier, the journey quicker, and the destination closer. मैं कभी कभी कहता हूं कि हम एक के पास एक होते हैं तो 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 8 होते हैं, लेकिन एक के साथ एक खड़े हो जाते हैं तो एक 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 करके संख्या अरबों खरबों में पहुंच जाती है। पास होने से साथ होने की ताकत अनेक गुना ज्यादा होती है, और इसलिए SAARC देशों के लिए समय की मांग है। हम पास भी हैं लेकिन साथ भी हो। I say this as much to my government and people as I say to you. We are meeting in the lap of Himalaya, which has nurtured us through the ages. Today, it is calling us to act. Let us work to change cynicism into optimism. Let us turn South Asia of flowering hope into rich field of peace and prosperity. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.